Kaya Garcia, relationship therapist and counselor. I was cleaning my bedroom after putting my daughter to sleep for Erev Shabbos and for a new rocking chair that we got. And I was thinking about different ways of putting my daughter to bed. And one way is like, no eye contact, like that's something you might do at night. But basically, like, put her down with less stimulation. Or the other option was give her, stimulation of song and kisses and voice and put her down. So they both make logical sense. If you're putting someone to sleep, you don't want them to be overstimulated and you want them to be kind of quiet and going into bed and going into the relaxation. So you don't want to, speak to them. They might think that you want to play or something. And then the other option is to nurture and to make them feel secure in the sense that they're okay in the process of going to sleep on their own. And so I thought about it, and I was able to come to the conclusion that I wanted to put my daughter to bed with the sound of my voice and with nurturing, and even though it might give her stimulation, it will still give her the sense of security and calm to be in the process of going to sleep. So I was thinking the reason why I'm sharing this video is because the way in which I'm able to make decisions that I find really helpful and effective is because for a lot of my self-growth process, I asked myself, what do I need? And I have to give credit to my mother for teaching me this, but basically so many times, and especially in my recovery and my self-love process and my healing and helpful process towards myself, I would ask myself the question, what do I need? And that question is such a powerful question. It's such an amazing question to learn to ask yourself on a regular basis, because so many times we feel so many different emotions, either afraid or tired or angry. We just have thoughts running through our head and we don't really know why or what's going on, or we're just feeling different feelings, even if we're happy. It doesn't have to be negative. And so what I'm trying to say is that you can learn the process of how to better yourself by a simple question of asking yourself, what do I need? And the more you learn to talk to yourself and have these monologues, but really they're dialogues, because you go back with yourself, like, hey Chaya, how are you? I'm feeling this. Okay, now that you're feeling that, what do you need? I need X, Y, and Z. Okay, let me see how I can get you that. But this relationship that we develop with ourselves, this relationship that we have internally with ourselves, is what we need to nurture the most, so that we have a very, very, very deep clarity of who we are, what we need, and therefore how to communicate that with others. So it's really difficult to be in a relationship if all of a sudden you get triggered and you're really upset and you don't know why, and then you don't know how to communicate what's going on and what you need. So a big part of healthy relationships is learning how to communicate to your partner what you need. But the only way you'll really know what you need, and you'll know what you need right away, is when you start asking yourself these questions on your own, and you can learn your different emotions and learn your different processes and learn your different triggers, and then see your different emotions and learn different coping mechanisms and skills of what you need. Sometimes it's a glass of water, sometimes it's to go to sleep, sometimes it's to journal, sometimes it's to be alone, sometimes it's to reach out and call a person. But whatever it is, you learn yourself. And so I just wanted to share this video in Erev. Oh, and I really wanted to share something. I'm going to share it too. I really hope this gets passed to the people who it's meant to get passed to. A few weeks ago, there was a horrible fire in the Moshav Modin, which is Karlbach's Moshav, Rabbi Shlomo Karlbach's Moshav that he started, had a fire, and 45 out of the 50 homes got completely demolished and burnt to a crisp, and there was nothing left. And everyone lost their homes and their possessions and their memorabilia and their paraphernalia and things that meant so much to them. Thank God no one passed, everyone was okay, but so many people lost something so big because of a fire. And the thing with fire is that it destroys if it doesn't have boundaries. A fire can be the most magnificently contained, beautiful, wonderful, awesome thing to sit by and to look at and to enjoy, but when it doesn't have that few pieces of rocks around it, when it doesn't have a boundary, it destroys and it causes horrible things and so much destruction. And so too in our lives, we have a potential to create warmth and to create goodness, but we need a boundary. We need to know what's healthy and what's not healthy, who to create with and who not to create with. And the way in which you communicate with people of how to better yourself is, if you're in healthy relationships, it's a constructive relationship, and if it's an unhealthy relationship, it's a destructive relationship. And that's how you know when to communicate with other people and when to communicate with yourself. That's a huge concept that I just got into, so I'm not really going to get into that. If you get it, great. If not, I'll do another thing on it later. But I wanted to share the power of fire because of the Moshav and because of the fire and because of the destruction. The way in which you light a candle is you go close to it. If the flame is too far from the wick, it can't ignite. And there's something in the Torah that says that all Jewish people have a spark of Judaism within them, but you have to go close to them. Us with ourselves, we have that same spark inside of us. We have to go close to ourselves, close enough to ignite our own spark. And the thing with the fire is that it has the power to go both ways. A fire can either cause light and brightness and warmth and connectivity, or it could destroy and could be dark and cause blackness and smoke and smog and cause disconnectivity. So it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same power. It's fire. We're talking about one thing, and yet it can go vastly in different directions. And so too with ourselves. We have a koach. We have an energy. We have a strength. And it can go both ways. Don't look at fire as an issue that can destroy. See how it can get built. See how it can grow. And it grows when you have the boundary, when you know what to do, when you know exactly how much oxygen it needs or how much it doesn't need. And if you take away the oxygen, if you take away its ability to breathe, it gets smothered and gets destroyed completely. So in honor of this Moshav, that so many people lost something, look at the fire, look at the flame, come close to yourself enough to ignite yourself, come close to the people around you enough not to smother them, but to ignite them. If you take a match or another candle and you put it too close to the wick, the wax can drip on it or can actually smother the ability to light it. But if you go close enough with a gentle sense of nurturance, it ignites. So may you all have a deep recognition of the power that we have inside of ourselves, how to go close to ourselves and the people we love with gentleness, with connectivity, with thought, not to go too close to smother and not to go too far away that they can't be elevated. So in honor of Shavuot, which just passed, which is Zachar et Yom HaShabbos HaKadsho, that we have this amazing commandment to honor and remember the Shabbos. Every woman and every man has a beautiful mitzvah to light Shabbos candles, to light Shabbos candles, to light candles that have been going on for generation and generation and generation, that people risk their lives as Jewish people just to light because it's that powerful. So look at the time for when it's before sunset, because it's not proper to do it after that. And then when you see that it's time for sunset, light a candle. Light a candle for everyone you love and everyone you lost and everything that's right and everything that's not right. Light a candle for everything you want to go right in the world. Make your prayers, say a blessing, and take the light and the fire that was so destructive in the Moshav and use it for good, and use it for power, and use it to elevate yourself and connect to your soul, and use it as a time that's serendipitous to bring down prayer and blessings. And may you all have such an amazing Shabbat and learn to ask yourself what you need and how to create the good that you want to see in the world. So from my home to yours and my heart to yours, Shabbat Shalom, and may you have everything you need and want. B'Gashmias U'Beruchnias. Peace.